put them hands together for Josh Johnson.
I've been watching the Olympics, and I've been enjoying myself because it's exposed me to a bunch of sports I don't normally watch, right? Like, I watched a lot of women's rugby, right? I had never, it just came on while I was sitting there, and then I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. Now, I don't really know the rules to rugby, right? All I know is if you get tackled, you're supposed to throw the ball like back when you pass it so then they can try to get further than you got and everything. And there was this one woman who was running with the ball, and a woman from another team went to tackle her, right? And rather than falling like gravity would dictate, she just picked up the woman tackling her and ran with her and the ball. And I was like, I don't know how to play. I don't know how to play. I don't know the rules, but is that legal? Can you do that? No. And then there was the guy. I didn't know shooting was part of the Olympics. But there was this dude that showed up that really looked like he wasn't in the sport, because everybody else had, like, I don't know if y'all read comic books, but everybody else had like dead shot gear on, like just they adjusted it and then lean in and then they lean back and stuff and then they take the shot and stuff. And this dude was just walking up, no expression. Boom, boom, silver medal. Imagine how mad you would be if you went ahead and you got all the gear, you got all the glasses, the goggles that tilt and stuff, the little binocular thing with the red dot sight in it and everything, and then you still watching him over here just boom, boom, silver medal. That's a dangerous one to just be so good at off of talent, because then your competitors are like, we're gonna have to shoot him. We're gonna have to, one of us has to do it, right? One of us I'll bump into you while it's your turn. You just be like, oops. And then you had, you had Team USA in the men's basketball winning gold today. Just through and through. You had LeBron and Curry just serving up moments, right? Just little leans back, boom, draining it, everything, killing it like we're supposed to, because basketball, that's our thing. We should be killing them. In basketball, I don't even want the games to be close. It's exciting when they're close, because then you pull it out and then you're like, yeah, I was so annoying. I was a real, like, an American as a stereotype when Team USA men's basketball was playing. I was like, yeah, get up. Yeah, like I'm on the team. Like I'm one of the coaches. Just, get up. But because we did so well in the men's basketball, it makes it even more perplexing that we did so poorly in the men's 3-on-3 basketball. How did, there's so much talent. The literal NBA is here. I understand everybody can't be on Team USA, and I don't know if it's a pride thing, like maybe you just don't want to be on the 3-on-3 if you're not in like the proper Team USA, but that's a shorter, that's half court. You just run back and forth. That's an easier path to a gold medal. And they just didn't want it. There's not an NBA player on the team, to my knowledge. It's just 3 dudes that I think are my age. Like, just, that shouldn't even be allowed. That's very frustrating to watch us play and struggle at basketball. I don't care if it's 3-on-3. I don't care if it's 1-on-1. We should be dominating. Do you know what it's like to sit there as an American and watch the men's 3-on-3 basketball team struggle against Latvia. You couldn't have pulled 3 superstars or something? I gotta sit here, we getting dunked on. This is gonna be the most out of pocket that I speak the entire show, but I was watching it furious. I really was, because as an American, you sit there watching yourself get beat by a country whose GDP doesn't match Texas. And it make you, like, you sitting there with dance that splintered off and made other genres of dance sense. So I think that it's an incredible thing that you have to take stock of, that something that just started with a few people has become this thing that's blown up around the world to the point where it makes it to the Olympics, to the world stage, right? But I was watching and I was like, maybe we need to keep some things a secret, right? Like maybe we don't have to tell everybody some of the stuff that we do, you know what I mean? Because I want to be clear here. There were plenty of very good breakdancers, all right? But a lot of them were overshadowed by people whose movement was questionable, all right? You know, because there were a couple people where you see them dancing and you're like, to call it a routine feels like you planned this, and I don't think you did. I think you're making it up as you go. I think that you woke up and you were like, oh, today? Like, I think that's the way you dancing right now. It's not the dance of someone who prepared. Like, there was an Australian dancer that... Okay, look. She was dancing, and I'm not gonna act like I know how to break dance. I'm also not gonna act like I have great movement myself. Most of my stories are when I could have had better joints, all right? So I'm not trying to act like, ooh, I knew it or whatever, but I will say, as soon as I saw her, and she was dressed like she was from Squid Game, that's when I was like, I don't know if you're taking this serious. I don't know what's about to happen right now. And, okay, so she starts dancing. So she started dancing, and they had interviewed her before the Olympics, right? Before she ever went to Paris. And I think they interviewed her after her performance. And I think both times she said that all of her moves she invented, right? Which I believe. I do believe that. I think that that's true. That's just a fact. And you got at least a point for limbs, like... Also, oof, France has had some ups and downs, right? That poor pole vaulter. If you didn't see it, okay, basically, pole vaulting is a sport where you run up with a stick and then you put it into, like, what I'm assuming is the vault, right? And you stick it in there, and then you keep going, even though it's stuck in there and it bends, and then you ride it up the top and it lifts you. It looks like it shouldn't work. Every time I've watched pole vaulting, I'm like, how do they not snap off and fly off into another direction? Pole vaulting is physics, but it looks like it's against it, right? Like, I think that's why it's a sport, because every time you watch it, you're just mystified. You're like, how did he plan it to go that? It could have gone anywhere. And so, you stick it in, and you bend and you fly up, and then there's a stick that you try to get over. And so you throw your body over the stick, and then you land and somehow live, right? Because that's the other thing about pole vaulting that I don't understand is how no one dies every time, right? And so anyway, there's a French pole vaulter that was running with the stick, stuck it in, went backwards, and he's lifting up. And then when he gets about parallel with the bar, we notice on camera a different stick, right? Because there's always supposed to be two sticks. There's always the stick you gotta get over and the stick to use to get over. But there was a third stick at play that nobody could have foreseen, right? Because I don't know if this has ever happened in the history of people running up with a stick and sticking it in the thing and then going over. But he gets about level, and then, if you knock over the stick, you're disqualified from that heat, right? Not that you can't go again. I just mean like you didn't do it. If you knock over the pole, you're supposed to get over. And he knocked it over. He knocked it over with his stick, his pole, his vault of sorts was what lifted that stick off, and then you see them, and they are connected. There were some people that were saying actually his knee is what knocked it over, and I'm like, maybe it goes to his knee, but I saw what I saw. And so, he didn't win a medal. But he won something else. Because we're all talking about it, and we're talking about it favorably. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even a knock on him as an athlete. I'm sure it's more impressive that he gets over sometimes with the stick he has to watch out for. He did his best, and he did not come up short, all right? No. And I know he wanted the medal, but he got something even greater. He got everybody knowing that he had a big penis without him saying it. You know what I mean? Like, when you're a man and you have a big penis, it's something you got to keep secret that you just want to tell everybody. You know what I mean? You just want to let the people know, right? I'm surprised more men don't just go, oops. I can't believe what just happened. Oh no, I knocked over a glass of water.